The city of Winnipeg, Manitoba is some 1,931 kilometers east of Kelowna. Winnipeg is known for its harsh winters and wall murals, as many buildings in the downtown core display massive paintings. Winnipeg is also home to some of Canada's most recognizable musical acts, like Chantal Kreviazuk, Neil Young, BTO, and the Guess Who.
These eyes are crying. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another one like I had with you.
Winnipeggers are also some of the most loyal football fans across the country and have enjoyed 9 Blue Bomber Grey Cup champions since 1936.
Congratulations to the people of Winnipeg and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Grey Cup champions of the Canadian Football League.
The rich tradition of football continues to grow and has produced some of the finest junior football players. The Okanagan Sun have experienced just that with Sizzler High School grad receiver Adam Eckert. Adam was with the Sun from 1998 to 2000. He's a member of the All-Sun team, plus he was named to the CJFL All-Canadian team in 2000. Adam went on to play for the Blue Bombers in the CFL. Also a Sizzler High School grad is running back Ronnie Arnold, who was a star for the Sun in 1997. He set the Sun's single-season rushing record that year with 1,236 yards and was named the outstanding offensive player in the Canadian Junior Football League. Last season, 2 more Winnipeggers rose from the friendly province to become legitimate threats on both sides of the ball. Rookie Dan Turek, a grad of Maples Collegiate, was named Sun and BCFC Rookie of the Year, breaking Jay Christensen's records for most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in a single season by a rookie. Turek said his rookie season was one he did not expect.
Going into the last season was scary. I remember at spring camp just looking at the guys that I'm going to be playing against. There are some big guys out there. I wasn't expected to get the opportunity I did, and I knew when I get that opportunity that I'm going to work at it, and I'm going to work hard to maintain my status on the field and just do what I did.
Were you scared or nervous about making the long move to Kelowna from Winnipeg?
Well, I have family actually from Kelowna.
Right.
My mom's brother's out there, Mr. Galt, and that kind of made my parents a little more easier, like, for me to live there.
Right.
Because I had family out there, and I wasn't all by myself, and if I need anything, I can go to them. Yeah, that kind of made the decision a little easier on my parents.
Did you know much about the Sun and Kelowna before you made the move? I mean, you kind of had a family friend here, and you heard about it through some of your other teams in Winnipeg, but did you know much about the organization and the city?
No, not so much. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. My uncle that lives in Kelowna sent me Sun's long-sleeved shirt for Christmas one winter, and all of my brothers got one, and I just never really thought of it. Like, I wore it around and stuff, but I never really thought I'd be playing for them. So that was kind of weird that that happened.
How did the recruiting process go? How did you become a member of the Sun?
One of the coaches for provincials. He does some scouting for football players in Manitoba for provincials, and his name's Chris Johnson. Great guy, loved him, good coach. Definitely recommended going out to BC. He knew a lot about BC and that, and I just kind of took his word for it. I went with it.
So you look at this year, one of the biggest changes, of course, you'll have a brand new head coach. How do you think that will affect your play and on the team? Do you know much about head coach Pete McCall?
I didn't really talk to him till early this spring. He came here and he was kind of recruiting. That's actually the first time I met him.
Right.
And you know what? The way I was looking on the site like every day, and the way he's talking about the Sun, and he knows a lot about football, and he used to like be the ball boy for the Sun, and I think there's good things coming out of him. He wants to win. That's the bottom line. He wants to win, and we all want to win, and hopefully we can do something about that this year and pull it off, but I see great things coming out of him. I don't have a doubt in my mind.
Defensively, the Sun once again enjoyed one of the best in the league, thanks in part to Winnipeg native and Churchill grad rookie Scott Raffey. He only played 4 games in his rookie season, but was a nuisance for the opposition's offensive line. The Sun were 4-0 in games in which Raffey played. Making the move west from Winnipeg wasn't a concern to Raffey.
Well, you know what? It was a hard thing to leave my family behind. But, I mean, it was a great opportunity to explore my horizons and get out and showcase my football talent in another province.
So what did you know about the Sun organization in Kelowna before you actually got here?
I knew Smitty, Bill Smith,
Yeah.
or William Smith, who lived in Kelowna, who's now my member of the board. He went to high school with my dad, and he came to Winnipeg a couple of years back to watch one of my high school teams and said, you know what? If you're going to pursue your football career, you should come play for the Okanagan Sun. And, of course, at the time, me being, I don't know who's that? But he filled me in, and then my high school team ended up playing the Mount Bushery Bears.
Oh.
And as soon as I kind of had a glimpse of Kelowna, I knew that that's kind of where my place needed to be.
So what were your first impressions then as a high school kid playing football in Kelowna?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was kind of surreal. Just the atmosphere, everything about it, the Apple Bowl itself, everything was amazing. And then when I come to the spring camp and find out what the team actually had to offer, making the decision was a no-brainer.
So how did the recruiting go? Was it just Smith saying, hey, you should go to Kelowna and try out, or did somebody come and offer you an invitation?
No, Shane Sommerfeld called me a few times, actually. Shane and Derek Melanchuk, I received a few phone calls from, and we just took it from there. I mean, at the time, it kind of seemed like a pipe dream. My parents were like, yeah, that'd be an awesome thing for you to do, but I mean, it didn't really seem like it could happen. And when it did, I mean, I couldn't be happier with the result that I got. So,
do you think there's a difference between football in Manitoba compared to the BCFC?
Oh, wow. The Winnipeg Rifles?
Yeah.
There's no way I would ever consider playing for the Rifles. Not that I'm knocking the Winnipeg Rifles. It's the atmosphere here. It's like a brotherhood. That's the best way to describe it. Here, I know a lot of the guys and a lot of the Rifles, and they're not too happy with the program. I mean, they kind of got started, but It's not the same as what we got out there. That's for sure. Defensive
line coach Jamie Klassen speaks very highly of you, and he's saying that you will push for a starting job this year. You could be an all-star in this league. What does that mean to you?
That's the number one goal. Yeah. Not necessarily to be an all-star. I just want to make the best of myself to make the team better overall. If I can have that starting position, which pushes our number one goal, which is the national championship this year, what's set out for me, then that's what's going to happen.
What was the biggest thing you learned last year and that you've built on here in the off-season that you will bring into this season?
Don't take anything for granted. You know, in high school, a spot is not necessarily fought for, but at this level, you always got to keep your chin up. To make the team better, you just got to give it 110% all the time.
The Okanagan Sun organization will continue to recruit in Winnipeg in hopes of finding the next Eckhart, Turek, or Raffey. I'm Ryan Waters.